Today I'm going to show you how to make demo recordings of your original songs with AI using Suno. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Thom Shepherd and I'm a professional songwriter. And I've had over 100 of my songs recorded by other artists, including Redneck Yacht Club by Craig Morgan, and My Texas by the Josh Abbott Band, and Riding with Private Malone by David Ball. I've also released my own music that you can find on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. Currently, I work for a publishing company in Nashville, and I have been using Suno for the last several months, and it is a game changer, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, the bottleneck for writers has always been the step from having a finished song to having something recorded that you can pitch to artists. Now, in Nashville, we call these recordings demos. Yes, you can just record a voice memo into your phone of your song and pitch that. I've done it, but typically, you want a version with a full band so the artist can really hear what you're hearing and what your vision is for the song. Now, I've been doing this a long time, and demos can cost anywhere from $500 to $1,500, sometimes more. So a lot of the songs that I write never get demoed just because of the expense of doing it. Even when you have a publisher, demo costs add up, and typically you just can't afford to demo every song that you write. That is, until now. So what I want to talk about today is how I create demo recordings of my songs using the Suno app so that I can pitch them to artists. Now, just to be clear, I write all of my own lyrics and melodies before I put anything into Suno. As a songwriter, I don't believe in using AI to write the lyrics or the melody for me. To me, that's cheating. So step one, the first thing you have to do once your song is done is what we used to call a work tape, which is basically recording yourself singing the song into your phone. I use the native iPhone recording app, and it does a good job. Once it's done, I save it to the Files app on my phone. Now, you can upload your voice memo directly into the Suno app on your phone. So you just hit the little Create button in the center of the screen on the bottom, and then you go here and you hit this Upload button, and that should open up your Files app on your phone, and then you pick which voice memo you want to use. And then once it's uploaded, just make sure all your lyrics are correct and hit Create. But I prefer using the laptop version of Suno because it has a lot more options, and to me it's just easier to work with. So typically I airdrop the song from my iPhone to my MacBook Pro, and then the file shows up in the Downloads folder, and then you upload that to Suno. Now, if you don't have a Suno account, you can sign up for one online. There's a free version if you want to try it out, but I pay for the $24 a month Premier plan. Now, this may change in the future, but as of right now, if you pay for the Premier plan, you own the rights to the recordings that you make on Suno. So on the desktop app version of Suno, you go over here to the left, and you hit this little thing that looks like a music note. That's the Create button. So you go over here to where it says Audio, and that's where you upload your voice memo. And then you hit Save. And then you hit Cover, and then hit Continue. Now, once it's all loaded in here in this area, you want to check your lyrics and make sure that it's got all the lyrics correctly written. Sometimes it gets the lyrics wrong and you got to fix them. Next, you go down here to where it says Styles, and what we're going to write here is called a prompt. So this song, for example, I want it to sound like a modern country male vocal with some dobro and maybe fiddles on it. You can also use this button here to enhance it with AI, and it'll give a longer description to play with. Then down here under Advanced Options, there's several different faders you can use here. Usually the audio influence I put all the way up to 100 so that it follows my melody as close to the voice memo as possible. And occasionally I'll put the style influence somewhere between moderate and all the way up, maybe usually about in the middle. And weirdness, I usually don't mess with that one unless it's just not giving me something that I like, and sometimes I'll use that to kind of shake things up. And then you hit Create, and as you can see, it's making up a couple of versions of the song. Now, another thing I like to do down here where the name of the song is, I usually like to rename it something that's short, and maybe put a 1 next to it for the first pass, and then the next time I go through it, I put a 2 there or whatever, just so when I'm looking later, I can kind of differentiate which version is which. Okay, so we got a couple versions here. Let's see what we got. Now that one seems a little wonky, and sometimes when there's a lot of people using Suno, some of the versions it kicks out are a little weird, so you just got to try another version. Now, another thing that Suno seems to be fond of is making really long intros to songs, which I don't usually like. I usually like a quick intro, get right into the lyric. Now, if you don't like one, you can hit the thumbs down and it will go away. I usually have to do a few different versions before I find one where the phrasing is right and the instruments are right. So make sure you label them, like I said, each time so that they're easier to find later. Let's try this one.
She wants a house with a hummingbird feeder and room for the dogs to run.
Okay, I like that one. The intro is a good length and the vocals sound good. It's always good to put a thumbs up on the ones you like so that you can find them after you've done a dozen versions. And also, I like to go in here and change the name on it just so that I can find it again also. So when you get the version that you like the best, I don't ever publish it to Suno. I usually just save it to my hard drive. You go over here to these three little dots, hit it, and you go down here to download, and I usually download it as an MP3. That way I can share it easily on a phone or in an email. WAV files are typically too big to share. And then you go to your Finder and your downloads, and here it is, Hummingbird 4. Sometimes it doesn't change the name when you download it. Then I'll go up here to hit share, and I'll airdrop it to my phone. And now you have a completed song demo ready to pitch to an artist. Now there's a lot of other ways to improve your demos by downloading the individual tracks, which are called stems on Suno, and importing them into a program like Pro Tools or Cubase or any other digital audio workstation. And you can even put your own voice on your songs using this method. There's so many different ways that you can use your Suno tracks, but that's a topic for another video. Most of the songs I pitch, I send via text to people that I know, or sometimes I'll send them via email. People ask me all the time, how do I get my songs to famous country artists? Well, that is also a topic for another video. Anyway, I hope this video helps. Drop your comments and questions below. Let me know, what do you need help with? What are your questions about using Suno? And I'll see you in the next video.